Hey, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Olivia and I'm a gender affirming voice teacher. And I believe I am the last person on the planet to check out Chat GPT. I'm just the last one. I think it's been out for like a year and I think I'm frightened of technology, is the truth. I know there's like those groups that are like, technology's gonna take over, and I don't know. It's scary. Anyway, the point is that I decided I would try and get into it, especially with OpenAI in the news and stuff. And so I wanted to know what ChatGPT knows about vocal feminization or what it doesn't know. So I asked ChatGPT, how can I feminize my voice? And I wanted to talk through the results with you. Okay, so here is what do we call chat just chat for short? I don't know. Here's what chat says. Feminizing your voice involves adjusting the pitch, resonance, and intonation to sound more traditionally feminine. Here are some tips that may help. Okay, so we're on the right track. So 1, pitch. Women typically have higher pitched voices than men. Practice speaking in a higher pitch, but be careful not to strain your vocal cords. Start by finding a comfortable pitch range and gradually work towards a higher pitch. Okay, so yeah. So I would say, yes, women typically have higher pitched voices than men, but that's not universal, but obviously chat said typically. So speaking at a higher pitch, but being careful not to strain your voice. Very, very true. Because if you're jumping up in pitch really quickly, it's like running a race or, running a marathon. If you haven't trained it at all, your muscles are going to be like, no, I'm not doing that. They're not going to be in shape. And you can hurt yourself. So definitely agree with that. So start by finding a comfortable range, definitely, and then moving up from there. So moving up gradually in pitch, I think is really important. Chat knows. Excellent, chat. Okay. Number 2, resonance. Here's what chat says. Women often have a more forward resonance in their voices. Try to speak from your chest rather than your throat. This may involve bringing the sound forward and out of the lower part of your throat. Okay, not sure about this one. So definitely women often have a more forward resonance in their voices. That is often the first thing that I work on with clients, is finding a more forward resonance. That's really important and definitely a feminine perceived quality. When it says try to speak from your chest rather than your throat, I don't quite know what they mean, because generally we want to think about, when we talk about like the chest voice versus the head voice. So sometimes we think of resonance like in the chest, like a little bit heavier down here versus a little bit lighter up here in the head voice, forward resonance, all those things. So I would say not the chest versus throat. Chat might need to do a little further research on this, but yes, definitely bringing sounds more up into the head and more forward. Agree with you, chat. All right, chat says number 3 is intonation. Pay attention to the way women use intonation in their speech. Women tend to use a wider pitch range and more varied intonation patterns than men. Experiment with different patterns to sound more feminine. So I would definitely agree with this. So feminine perceived voices oftentimes have more movement in the pitch. So more, hi, how are you? Moving up and down. And they might be a little bit more connected in the way that they're speaking, versus more masculine perceived intonation emphasizes things rather than using that movement of the pitch, but with volume. So, wow, crazy. How are you? So being a little bit more monotone, a little bit more flat in terms of pitch, but punching things with volume. So definitely agree with this one too. Number 4, chat says, is speech rate. Women often speak at a slightly faster rate than men. Practice speaking at a comfortable yet slightly faster pace, but avoid speaking too quickly as clarity is important. So I would say for this one, yes and no. I think that it really is going to depend on the person, and really all of these things, it's going to depend on the person, what somebody is looking for. If you're working on vocal feminization, none of these things are like, you must do this or you must get to this level of this. It's finding what works for you. So I think that speech rate can be a more personal thing, but could be something to consider if you want to try it. Number 5, chat says articulation. Women generally have clearer articulation in their speech. Practice enunciating your words clearly and be mindful of your pronunciation. Yeah, I think articulation, this is kind of what people generally think about articulation, that women are clearer. I wouldn't say that's always the case, but I think that there's more to articulation than just this. When we think about articulation, I think about kind of plosive sounds and stop sounds, like a P or a T. Those sounds that have a lot of pressure to them. So if we lighten some of that pressure in terms of the articulation, that can really help too. So it's not just being clear, but also kind of lighter pressure and kind of allowing that to help with the flow of the voice as well. All right, number 6, breath control. Work on controlling your breath to maintain a steady and controlled voice. This can help with both pitch and resonance. 100%. Yes. Breath control, breath awareness. I would say this is something that you work on probably early on to help you maintain that resonance and maintain the pitch. So completely agree with this. This is really important to be focusing on a deep belly breath rather than breathing shallowly up more in your shoulders and your chest. Wow, there are a lot of these. Okay, number 7 is vocal exercises. There are various vocal exercises that help you develop a more feminine voice. These may include pitch glides, humming, and lip trills. Practice these exercises regularly to strengthen your vocal muscles. Absolutely. So doing vocal warm-ups. We use SOVT exercises, semi-occluded vocal tract exercises, which are really helpful and really healthy for the voice. And chat, as chat says, pitch glides, lip trills, humming. These are great examples of really exercises that are really kind to your voice, that are going to put your vocal cords in the optimal position for voicing and kind of relax the muscles around the larynx, which is the house of the vocal cords. So yeah, totally agree. Number 8, chat says listen and imitate. Listen to female voices, whether in person or through media, and try to imitate the way they speak. Pay attention to pitch, tone, and the overall cadence of their speech. 100%. Listening is really important. And I think as you learn any one of these elements, it's important to then really open your ears and pay attention to what you're doing in your day-to-day speech. And yeah, that idea of imitation, or like if you're listening to a podcast you really like, and you know, just listening critically to the voices, I think is really important to get a sense of what you like, what you don't like, what you're actually hearing, so that you can move toward a voice that feels like you, that feels really authentic to you as you're going along. All right, the next one, number 9, says seek professional guidance. If possible, consider working with a voice coach or a speech therapist. They can provide personalized guidance and exercises to help you achieve your desired voice. So I promise I didn't plant this, okay? But this is really chat telling us to seek professional guidance. So yeah, seeing a teacher like myself, or if your insurance covers it, you can go to a speech pathologist. That can be really helpful depending on your insurance. But yeah, I think working one-on-one with somebody can be really helpful and really motivating, because you do get an experience that's tailored to you and your background and your strengths and the things that you struggle with. And you get that feedback of kind of like, you know, it's hard to know when you're following along with a video or something. am I really doing this right? Or, to celebrate the things that you are doing well and to kind of adjust the things that aren't going as well. And if you are interested in taking some private lessons or taking some group classes, take a look down in the description. I've got a link there for you where you can learn more information or sign up for a consultation. All right, number 10, Chat says practice regularly. Like any skill, developing a feminine voice takes practice. Set aside time each day to practice these techniques and be patient with yourself as you make progress. 100%. Yes. Chat GPT knows all. It's really important to practice. When maybe you're taking lessons, if you're practicing just in that time, 45 minutes or an hour a week or whatever you're doing, that's not enough time to build a habit. So habits are built by doing something many times for small periods of time. So I encourage my clients to be practicing like 5 times a day, but like for a few minutes. So then you are getting in this habit with this new way of using your voice rather than cramming like before your lesson or something. Which, I think we've all been known to do. I have been known to do that. I like to do a little cramming session. I like to make myself feel sick that I haven't done something and then do it. So if you're like me, get out of that habit of procrastinating and start practicing more times per day. So lastly, Chat says, remember that everyone's voice is unique and the goal is to find a voice that feels comfortable and authentic to you. If you find it challenging to feminize your voice on your own, seeking guidance from a professional can be particularly beneficial. Yes, 100%. Everybody's voice is unique. So this process is not the same for everyone. There are certain elements that are going to be easy, like I already do that, or things that you might be coming into vocal feminization, like doing a bunch of character voices. And so you already know how to manipulate your vocal tract and your pitch in certain ways. So everybody's kind of coming from a different place, and everyone's going to a different place. And of course, I agree that seeking professional guidance can be really helpful. The only thing that I would add on here is vocal weight. I think that can be a really important factor as well. But you can work on that in conjunction with pitch, in conjunction with articulation. But listen, ChatGPT, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with what they know. They know a lot. And I hope that they don't take my job one day. We'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this has been helpful or fun, and I will see you in the next video.